how the launcher works. No! Oh, I was so close! Ah! We got all of Random Booster Volume 13! So today for our Beyblade show, we finally got the entire set of Random Booster Volume 13. If you don't know what a Random Booster is, you have a chance of getting one of 8 bays. 7 of those bays are just random bays with random combinations, and one main base, the prize Beyblade, and that for this booster is Air Knight. Air Knight is... The owner of Air Knight is Kit Lopez, which Kit Lopez is a returning blader. So you can see that comes with, we have the whole set. So our first bay is the prize Beyblade Air Knight 12 Expand Eternal. That is a stamina type Beyblade. We then after got the defense version of Air Knight, which is kind of cool since I don't really think we've ever really seen double prize Beyblades except in the Vice Leopard booster. It is Air Knight, a white version 11 Friction. We then after got a really cool Revive Phoenix 12 Fusion Prime, or Fusion Dash, which is a tighter version of Fusion. After that, we've got a really wacky one, Hell Salamander. The parts for Hell Salamander is 13 Blow Prime or Blow Dash. We then after have Hazard Kerbeus 4 Merge Prime. After that, we've got, which is really cool, Emperor Forneus. But the difference is, even though the kind of like the stock that it gives is kind of meh, it comes with a green level chip, which I thought was pretty cool. It is 13 Meteor Survive with a green level chip on it. After that, there is, I believe that is Dranzer Flame 10 Turn Sword. Now, to be honest, that sword's kind of weird because we've already got a dark blue sword and we have a light blue sword from the original Buster. This is kind of like a weird middle version of it. I don't really care for it. I think they should have gone with maybe red or a different color other than that. It's kind of meh. We then after have Wolborg 0 Expand Atomic. So overall, it's not too bad for the whole set. I would say even if you at least get plentiful of good stuff with these bays. For the example, with the Wolborg, you get the Expand Frame. If you couldn't get the prize Beyblade, Atomic's also not that bad. With Dranzer Flame. Dranzer Flame is kind of, I mean, I guess Sword if you didn't really want to get to that whole set for Buster. Then after that, with Forneus, even though Forneus I think is the weakest one out of all of them, you get the level chip on it. Hazard Kerbeus, you get Merge Prime. There's a lot of Prime drivers, like tighter versions of the original drivers. So it's not too bad. Again, there's another version of Air Knight, so you can probably make the full stock for Air Knight. You get the Phoenix is probably my favorite one in this whole booster. There's all those warnings and whatnot. Those are the full bays. The new frame is Expand, Cho-Z Lair, Air Knight. So let us take a look at each of the bays in the order of the booster. So we've got our prize Beyblade Air Knight. If you see my original video covering it, I said the bay is so-so. It's not too bad. It's not really too good. It's a decent lair. I think the real issue with Air Knight is that it's pretty easy to tip over in battles. This is the lair of Air Knight. Now the actual avatar for this bay, just a knight. People said it was like Valkyrie and whatever. I guess in some sense it's like a knight on a horse for Valkyrie. This one is just the knight. It is sort of like an evolution of the Garuda lair, except it's a little bit different. Unlike Garuda lair, it doesn't actually have sort of slopes. It just has actual teeth. And the thing that really does annoy me is putting level chips on it. I'm not going to show it on either of the Air Knights in this video, but level chips are compatible with the lair. However, it's really hard to take off. Like I had to use I had to use tweezers and I had to close it just to like push it out with a little bit of force. You don't have to use excessive force, it just takes a little bit. 12 is nothing special. Like I said with Air Knights, I don't really think 12 was the way to go. I feel like if they put 0, 0 or maybe something else, maybe even 10, something like that would have been better than just 12. Expand is a new frame. The whole thing with this bay, from what I've been able to gather, is sort of supposed to like stay in the middle. The whole thing, the whole combo is supposed to like make it stay up and not make it lose too much balance. Eternal, which is green. You kind of see the poem right there, just not painted. Kind of looks nice overall. So this is Air Knight. My rating for Air Knight out of 10, I would give this maybe a 7 or an 8 out of 10. For our next bay, we have Air Knight again. So they did do a repeat of Air Knight. I think if I actually look at my box real quick, before they did a repeat, sort of like with Vice Leopard. There's a blue Vice Leopard, then after there was a red one. It actually has a friction, and it reminds me of actually this Archer Hercules that I had. But this part's red now. I'm gonna have to say this, to be honest. I feel like they're kind of a wee bit uncreative with some of the colors for the stuff. Like, Sword is just blatantly like the one that was on the Garuda. This friction just has the part red there. Like, I don't know. Maybe they could have thought of maybe some a little more unique color combinations, but it's whatever. The layer doesn't look too bad at all. I think it's a really nice alternate to the actual Air Knight. It is white. I'm hoping maybe the next time we see a Gachapon collection, we maybe see like a yellow Air Knight, so it's actually like Garuda. So this is Air Knight with Fusion Prime, or Fusion Dash, I guess. It is pretty good, pretty good. It looks like a solid, I love this. It's honestly the best one in the whole booster. So we've got a pretty ugly one, which is Hell Salamander. Hell Salamander is like a white layer with some pink and some red, but it just looks so weird and ugly. Also, something I did forget to actually show with the Phoenix one, if you want to see these bays with the level chip, I'll make sure to show it now, because I almost forgot. Yeah, with level chips, these bays look really nice. I was going to show it with the green one, but just because the red one's going to match mostly better on this. So this is our second ever Hell Sal... Not counting the main one. If you want to count the main one, that's the third Hell Salamander layer we ever got. Second, because we got one in the booster, I'm pretty sure, and that was it. So it's not too bad. It's kind of on the colors. Not really a big fan. However, I guess maybe if you want to have some crazy combos with this one, doesn't look too bad. With its 10 and its 5-bladed mode, I'll show it with a level chip on it. It's not too bad, not too bad. I still think it's the ugliest out of all the bays in the booster. Comes with 13 and Blow Prime. Pretty interesting, actually. Not too bad. The fact that we're getting a lot of these Prime drivers, it's decent, especially with the Prime driver on it. It's not too bad. I think the teeth are all right for a lot of this stuff. We've now got our next one, which is really nice. Hazard Kerbeus. It is yellow with some blue eyes and purple on it. This reminds me of actually Hades Kerbeus with the color scheme. Sort of. It's not too bad. It comes with Merge Prime, another Prime driver. And, I mean, the Merge Prime doesn't really match the whole bay. However, having a Prime version of Merge is really good. With a lot of these Cho-Z Awakening System bays, it's really easy to, like, knock out a lot of these bays super easily. So by giving them a lot of these Prime drivers, it's sort of like a fair balance for this stuff. That's why I probably think they introduced the Prime drivers, because with the power creep, with how these bays keep on evolving, kind of makes sense. So with a level chip on it, this is how it looks like. Oh, it's so cool. So here we have Emperor Forneus. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a fan of this combo at all. Comes with 13, Meteor, and I thought maybe, oh, it's Prime Survive. No, it's just some weird, like, translucent lime green. I mean, we get a green level chip on this, so it's not too bad if you're able to actually pull this. Like, for how tight this is, it's not really all that tight. But let's move on to our last two bays. We have our next bay, which is Dranzer Flame. It is a old gen bay. I forgot they never did a variation for this one. The booster anyway, so it is transparent green. Kind of cool looking. 10, we get another turn. I think the first ever variation of turn that we saw Dead Hades, and I think it was Deep Chaos. It was 0 turn extend. Now we have Dranzer Flame 10 turn sword. This sword's kind of because again, we got like a really nice dark blue in the Garuda one, and this one's sort of like in the middle between the light blue and the dark blue. It's not too bad looking, not too bad looking. It is cool to see some of the old gen bays back in the boosters. We have Wolborg. We can stop making fun of Hasbro's Rock Tavor now. Looks like Takaratomi took some notes. It's transparent with a white little bearing around it. So wow, I didn't even realize that. Wolborg, man. There was 3 variations of Wolborg counting everything. The original one, the blue ice Wolborg, now we got sort of like this flame version of it. Comes with 0. Cool though, if at least you pull this, you get atomic and you get expand. So it's not too bad if you pull it. Also 0 is not too bad. I think with a lot of these bays, it's either you get almost everything good or they kind of find some middle ground with it. Not too bad. This booster actually has a lot of nice looking bays, I gotta admit. It's not too bad. Here we have all the random booster bays, and it's time to get excited. We have Air Knight, Revive Phoenix, Hell Salamander, Emperor Forneus, Hazard Kerbeus, Dranzer Flame, Wolborg, and now we will be doing a test launch. Our first main Beyblade, Air Knight, go shoot. It's like Air Knight really is emitting a powerful aura. Our next bay, the other Air Knight. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Air Knight doesn't look too bad when it's spinning around. It's sort of like the opposite colors on the original one. Sort of. Just stop it. We have our next bay, which is Revive Phoenix. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. It is a bay that travels around, of course. Let us see it looking normal now. It's really cool. And then after, if you want to see the armor come off. There we go. With the armor out. Hell Salamander. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. It actually looks cool when it's spinning. Sort of cool when it's spinning. Again, not really a fan. It's still one of the ugliest bays, however. Alright, let's stop you and we'll move on to our next bay. Our next bay is going to be Hazard Kerbeus. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. So Merge sort of lets it ride around the stadium. Emperor Forneus, go shoot. Alright, no Forneus. Dranzer Flame. I've never really seen how sword moves in this stadium. Look at that! One of the nicest ones, and it's an old gen bay. So let us now do a couple of battles, and we're gonna just have some fun. Air Knight. We're gonna see which Air Knight is the toughest. Come on now, between these two bays, we gotta see. Look at them clash. It's really a crazy blend of colors. Both of them are starting to slow down. Revive Phoenix. Hell Salamander 5-bladed. Both of these actually have prime drivers. Starting to slow down. Emperor Forneus Hazard Kerbeus. It's going a little wild. It's a little too wild for my taste. Alright, well. A few attacks from Hazard. Bays are starting to slow down a bit. And, ooh, Forneus! Alright, let's end off with our next match, being both of them the old gen bays, Wolborg and Dranzer Flame. Wait to see which one's stronger. It don't look too bad when they're going around that stadium. No hits yet. Oh, some hits. Now Wolborg will last. Surprisingly for old gens, they're not too bad. Because a lot of these old gen bays don't really have that much good teeth. Especially with how all the layers are shaped and everything. I don't think they work too well with the burst system, but they do look very nice. Wolborg won that one thanks to Atomic's LAD, Life After Death. So now what I'm gonna attempt to do is let's make it a little bit easy for me. A little bit easy. We'll first do the first four, which is Air Knight, Salamander, Phoenix. Then we'll do the two old gens and Forneus and Kerbeus. And if I'm able to, we'll do a big one at the end. Amazing! Look at all the bays coming in. We're getting close. Salamander with that last second in with launching. Not too bad, not too bad. Let us move to our next four. Hazard's for sure killing some bays. It's gonna burst some. Oh. Might. Oh. Okay. One bites the dust. And our winner and our champion, Hazard Kerbeus. Hey, you think I'll get this on my first try?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Like, really, like. Oh, man.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Gonna be too late with how the launcher works. No, I was so close. Ah! Oh wait, what about this one? No!
Some still alive.
First failed attempt and wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad.
1.
You're gonna scare me with how fast you're counting.
4.
This does not get on the launcher like it should. It did. Maybe. Oh no. And I called it. Is that the Dranzer again? That was the Dranzer again. I almost got the full 8. I almost got the full 8. Should I try one more time? No, I'll try one more time. Salamander. Knight. Meets a Knight. And meets a Kerbeus. Then meets a Battle Launch Old Gen base. Then after that talks to some other base. Then after that talks to some other base. Then I got all the bays at once! I did it! This is such an accomplishment with spinning tops that don't really matter. I did it! With that, our champion, our winner is the revived Phoenix. I don't care, I love this Phoenix Bay. So, you the commenter have to tell me in the comment section below, yeah, pretty obvious how I just said that, what is your favorite bay? Now, and not even that, I also want you to comment your top 8 list. So for me, it would go Phoenix, the White Air Knight, the actual Air Knight, Kerbeus, and after 5th, I guess 5th would probably be Wolborg, 6th would be the Forneus, 7th would be the Dranzer, and 8th would be the Salamander. You can even comment your top 10 list for competitively viable combos, so with these stocks you can tell me how good they are. Now, if you're able to get the whole set of the booster, if for whatever reason you are able to, you get some pretty decent stuff. You get a level chip, you get a lot of dash drivers. Even if you only get one of them, you do get to pull some pretty neat stuff. Like for an example, Salamander is the prime, there's level chip for most of this. I think the worst one probably, I guess would probably be the Dranzer Flame. Because with Dranzer Flame, you get 10 and you get turn, which I guess if you never were able to get Phoenix or Hades, that's not too bad. However, the sword's kind of for what it is. I mean, most of these bays are pretty decently tight. They're not too bad, you know what I mean? I would love it, even though probably not. I really do want to see Dead Hades, but like a different variation of it. I don't know, probably whenever the next random booster is, or whenever they're gonna do another set of random bays. Maybe we might get the Dead Hades, a Cho-Z Valkyrie. Probably we're gonna get, whenever that happens, Dead Hades, Cho-Z Valkyrie, Cho-Z Spriggan, Cho-Z Achilles, with like random variations to them. Anyways, tell me in the comment section below which is your favorite bay, and which out of these bays you think we should do a video on, other than the prize Beyblade Air Knight. I'm thinking maybe doing some crazy video with the Phoenix one. I love it so much. But for now, I want you to have an awesome and amazing day. Subscribe if you haven't already, and click that bell to be notified of our uploads. And as always, have an awesome day.